the 2012 T.A.N.Y. Baseball Draft Lottery. I'm your Commissioner, Danny Cadell. This is set up to be one of the greatest years we've ever had, mostly because for the first time ever we have no stat category changes. Last year I felt went perfect, and there's no changes I wanted to make. The only settings changes that I've made is I upped the DL spots from 3 to 4. Now, a lot of people would ask, well, maybe that would make things too easy. I don't think so, because I got a general consensus from the league that everybody seemed to have some pretty bad injury problems, and some teams got hit harder than others, but still, 4 at least gives them the room to, at least pick somebody up and not be totally crippled if their team is marred by injuries. I know mine was last year, and so was Zach Scott's, so hopefully that will help things out. The next thing that I want to talk about is the keepers. This year, we're graduating the first keeper class. The players kept in 2010, like the example that I've used for the last 2 years, Zach Scott's Albert Pujols is no longer going to be able to be kept because he drafted him in 2009, kept him for 2010, and kept him as his one leftover keeper for last year, and now he's back in the... There's not that many players who were up for that, but he's one of them, and we're going to go through that same thing again this year. We decided that we're not going to change anything with the keepers. A lot of people was like, maybe if we, if you picked him up before May or something like that. It's just too hard to keep tabs of that stuff. And I think that the way things are working are pretty good right now, and nobody seems to be having any complaints. Another new policy I'm going to have this year, and it maybe seem a little strict, but any team who fails to keep active in the league this year is going to be gone mid-season. I have the power to appoint new managers as commissioner, and I will do that. The first strike will probably be, a warning. Second strike would be I'll make you add a co-manager to at least set your lineup. And the third strike, if you're still after that not active, I will replace your team. I would hate to do that. I mean, everybody's putting down money, so they should really be trying their hardest. But, some teams still don't do it. I'm tired of seeing the same teams in the bottom of the league, even if, some of them try to jump up in the consolation tournament and whatever. No, I want teams to be setting their lineups every week and everybody to be competitive. This week, I think, can do that. I really think this year is set up to be the best year ever. Now let's get on to introducing the managers. Another first for the league this year is we have no new teams. We have a couple new managers, but it's more of just a shift over, either a co-manager or a new team just taking over with the old manager, still involved. The first team with a manager change is I'd Fister, You Can Too. There's formerly Notorious CHAZ, managed by Charlie DeLuca. He's still part of the team, but they have a new manager this year, and that manager is Zach Condit. Yeah, that pretty much sums him up. He was our 2011 T.A.N.Y. football champion. He's very active, he's very competitive, and he talks a lot of trash. He'll definitely make the league a lot more entertaining this year. They finished in dead last year. The key players included Carlos Beltran, Lance Berkman, Jacoby Ellsbury, Ian Kinsler, Andrew McCutcheon, Troy Tulowitzki, Josh Beckett, Matt Garza, Joe Hanrahan, Tommy Hansen, Charlie Morton, Tim Stauffer, and Johnny Venters. The next team with a managerial change actually made that change last year, and that's Cheaters Always Win, managed by Pat Milligan. He took over for Corey Danhart last year, who managed Alan Evis, and he's now also adding our friend from football, Mike Grace, to his team, so Grace will be able to talk for Pat as well. Pat doesn't have a Facebook anymore, so whatever. They finished in 10th last year, and their key players included Elvis Andrus, Adrian Gonzalez, Ryan Howard, Howie Kendrick, Carlos Pena, Matt Wieters, Matt Cain, Cliff Lee, Bud Norris, Irvin Santana, and Annabelle Sanchez. Now on to the returning managers and teams. The first returning team is Great Scott, formerly known as Cardinals Are Back, managed by Zach Scott. Zach finished 11th last year, with his key players being Adrian Beltre, Adam Jones, Mike Napoli, Albert Pujols, Dan Ugla, Chris Carpenter, Jaime Garcia, Jair Jurgen, and
Denard Span. And the ball actually hit his mother.
The next team is Rasta Penguins, managed by Statler Willand. He finished 9th last year, and his key players were Matt Kemp, Prince Fielder, and okay, this was his team last year.
Here's the first pitch, and the season's over.
Next is Home Run Homer, managed by Ricky Angeloni. Let's hope he can hit a home run this year by finishing in the playoffs. Former Gator Smash, he finished in 8th last year, and his key players include Jay Bruce, Billy Butler, Matt Holliday, David Ortiz, Mark Reynolds, Andrew Bailey, Javi Guerra, Johnny Cueto, Jeremy Hellickson, Michael Pineda, CeCe Sabathia, Houston Street, and Jordan Walden. Next is me. I'm the warehouse again this year. I was the 2009 runner-up, the 2010 third place, and I was 2010 champion in football and basketball. I finished 7th last year, and my key players all ended up on Gannella's team. This year, I vow
I'm not going to be the person I'm expected to be anymore.
and I will not fall for any of Gannella's terrible trades. Seriously, is that not like the worst fucking commercial in the history of commercials? Anyway, now onto the playoff teams. Next is Hamburg Skunks, managed by
Dad? No, Mike, that's the pilot. He's making an announcement.
Dave Cadieux. He was the 2008 and 2009 baseball champion, he was the 2007 football champion, and he was 3rd in 2011 football. Besides that, he's done nothing since then, and he's a has-been. Yeah, I'm calling you out. His key players included Jose Bautista, Asdrubal Cabrera, Melky Cabrera, J.J. Hardy, Corey Hart, Brian McCann, Angel Pagan, Jimmy Rollins, Mark Teixeira, Joey Votto, Daniel Bard, Brandon League, Vinny Pistano, Frankie Rodriguez, and James Shields. Next is the 5th place team, Yellow Switch Palace, managed by Steve Pano.
Dude, you're a little bitch.
I am not. I don't even know why I hang out with you guys.
Because you're a piece of shit.
I am not a piece of shit.
Well, yeah, but you're a little bitch. Sure.
He was 3rd in 09 baseball, he was 1st in 2010 hockey. And the key players included Alex Gordon, Brandon Phillips, Jose Reyes, Drew Stubbs, Nick Swisher, Mark Trumbo, Joaquin Benoit, Francisco Cordero, R.A. Dickey, Hiroki Kuroda, Juan Carlos Oviedo, or the artist formerly known as Leo Nunez, Ricky Romero, Jared Weaver, Brian Wilson, and Jim Johnson. Yes, the philosopher, Jim Johnson.
You gotta be smart. Draft with your head, not with your heart.
Next is the 4th place team, Too Legit to Quit, with a special introduction.
Hey, Carlo, what's up, man?
His key players included Curtis Granderson, Evan Longoria, Victor Martinez, BJ Upton, Michael Young, Mike Adams, Mark Burley, Roy Halladay, Cole Hamels, Aaron Harang, Matt Harrison, David Price, and Mariano Rivera. Our 3rd place team from last year was Roid Rage, managed by Justin
Who you calling Pinhead?
Nolan. His key players include Miguel Cabrera, Jeff Francoeur, Josh Hamilton, Dustin Pedroia, Johnny Peralta, Carlos Santana, Josh Willingham, Brandon Beachy, Tyler Clifford, Josh Commenter, Gio Gonzalez, Danny Herron, Ryan Madsen, Jonathan Papelbon, and Sergio Santos. Next is our runner-up from last year, the Great One, managed by Steven fucking Ganella, shown here eating a sandwich. He was 3rd in 2008 baseball. He was the 08 football champion, the 08 hockey champion, but he's never won baseball. His key players include Alex Avila, Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, Aramis Ramirez, Shane Victorino, Giovanni Gallardo, Greg Holland, Clayton Kershaw, Tim Lincecum, Sean Markham, Sean Marshall, Brandon Morrow, Ivan Nova, and Jose Valverde. Oh, whenever I look at that team, I just... Finally, we have our 2-time defending champion, Team Uber Ponage, managed by Sam Oliveri. He was 2nd in football this year, and his key players were Michael Bourne, Ryan Braun, Paul Konerko, Adam Lind, Michael Morse, Hunter Pence, Justin Upton, Ryan Zimmerman, Ben Zobrist, John Axford, Madison Bumgarner, Julius Chastain, Naftali Feliz, Zach Greinke, Felix Hernandez, Daniel Hudson, Ian Kennedy, Craig Kimbrell, Vance Roy, and Justin Verlander.
Holy shit, dude.
Enough of all of that, onto a new year and onto a new draft. Let's get started.